You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's time for us to see the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. And to make sense of all of the headlines on a Tuesday like this, I have with me one of our regulars, Oladeinde, Ariyo, social commentator. It's nice to have you join me this morning. Thank you.
I feel like I want to start wearing suits like this.
No, you're better off in.
Says who now?
It fits you perfectly, and you represent the Africanness that we are.
Okay, but next Tuesday I will do a
change. All right, we'll certainly be having Ambrose Igboke join us on via Zoom as we get along. But let's start from the Guardian newspaper right now. It says, "Go after terrorists, eliminate them. Buhari orders security." Why we have been unable to rescue Abuja Kaduna train captives, President breaks silence. It says he's having sleepless nights over Nigeria's insecurity. Fish out soldiers working for terrorists. CDS charges commanders. Service chiefs celebrate Eid al-Fitr with troops in Borno. And Buhari, Erdogan exchange Eid greetings. All right. Erdogan is the president of Turkey. Moving on now, the Nation newspaper is next, and it says terrorists use captives as human shield, says Buhari. All right, service chiefs should locate, eliminate criminals. IG deploys surveillance choppers. Okay, all that on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Okay, then let's go to the Leadership newspaper. Many Nigerians still trapped in captivity. Bandits prowl the north. All right. Despite PMB's marching orders to service chiefs, many Nigerians still trapped in captivity. Bandits prowl the north. All right. That's on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. From there, let's go to Vanguard. Vanguard says Muslim clerics can PFN attack APC PDP on zoning. All right, we are for Southern presidents. Islamic preachers are saying this. No going back on Southern Christian president. Khan is saying this. PFN mobilizing for Christian president. Source is saying this. And bury zoning, bury Nigeria. SMBLF wants APC and PDP others. Zoning tops agenda as PDP's neck meets on May 10th. Okay, from there, let's go to, that's the Vanguard. Let's go to This Day. This Day newspaper is next, and it says, bury zoning, bury Nigeria. South and Middle Belt leaders warning. Declare another 8 years of Northern presidency unacceptable. Okay, that's what, it's on the front page of This Day. Okay, Nigerian Tribune is next. Clark Adebanjo Obiozo to Northern Elders Forum. Dumping zoning will kill and bury Nigeria. God will show the way. Lawan on purported presidential ambition. I will hand over to anyone Nigerians elect. And that's Buhari is saying that. Okay. From there, let's go to Daily Trust. Daily Trust says senators divided over moves to pick Lawan as consensus candidate. All right. Pro-Tinubu Amechi lawmakers kick Senate President to buy forms tomorrow. It's injustice to support a northerner, Ndume, Senator Alin Ndume from Borno State is saying this. God will determine my next step, Lawan says. Okay. From there, let's go to This Nigeria. Nigerians will decide my successor. Buhari is saying this, is quoted as saying this. Blueprint newspaper. I will hand over to Nigerians' elected choice in 2023. Buhari is saying this. Orders security chiefs to eliminate terrorists, secure the country. See 2023 as opportunity for peaceful coexistence, Sultan tells Nigerians. Urges citizens to accept any presidential mandate as a last choice. Okay, that's a strong, good message, great message from the Sultan. From there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. Presidency, APC may field northern candidate, awaits PDP primary. APC may field northern candidate, awaits PDP primary. presidential ticket. God will show us the way, says Lawan as a Senate president. Blame PDP if North retains power, says APC chieftain. Nigerians suffering deserve new leadership. PDP spokesperson is saying this. All right, that's the Punch newspaper there. Now, from there, let's go to Daily Independent. Buhari not part of plot to draft Jonathan into presidential race, as the presidency is saying this. All right, Buhari not part of plot to draft Jonathan into presidential race. Recall that the last week, or 1.5 weeks ago, it has been, there were stories, reports here and there of former President Goodluck Jonathan being considered, to run for president. Now let's go to Business Day, which is the last one we're looking at now. Nigerians cut down on protein as inflation bites. Nigerians cut down on protein as inflation bites. Okay. All right. Okay. So these are the issues on the front pages this morning. I'd like us to start from this Business Day story. Nigerians cut down on protein as inflation bites. Well, but we have Ambrose Igboke joining us from Enugu on Zoom. Ambrose, good morning.
Good morning, Mike, and good morning, Harry.
Good to see you. Now, let's look at this story on the front page of the Business Day. Nigerians cut down on protein as inflation bites. Ambrose, I'm going to start with you on this. Now, the point there is, a lot of people from report and engagement say that they have to, because of the economic realities, cut down on those who used to maybe eat, buy goat meat. A lot of, reduced to chicken, and those who used to take chicken, some say, okay, now it's fish, I have to. Those who used to take fish will say, okay, let's go for an egg or something. I wonder what the realities are from what you have been observing.
Well, it is a stark reality that is really facing Nigerians. A month ago, I went to a major supermarket, and I discovered that a lot of part of the shelf was empty. So, in curiosity, I inquired about the manager, and I went to the manager and said, "What is happening?" And he said that the forest is getting so high. Many of the goods are imported, and they are escalating, and there's a way they cannot change their prices because it will be too high. Therefore, instead of running at a loss, they decided not to stock until things get better. It reminds me of the days of austerity measures. It reminds me of the days of essential commodities. And coincidentally, the man in charge now was the man in charge then. Are we going back to the same cycle that we had between January 1st, 1984 to 27th August, 1985? Are we having the same issues again? Because I remember those days, I was still a little boy, and my mom used to queue up to buy things like milk, and egg was a rarity then. It was a luxury to eat egg then, and the rest. Are we coming back to the same cycle? These are stark realities that Nigerians need to ponder about. Where are we going from here? Does Nigeria deserve this? Do Nigerians deserve this? And the answer is absolutely no. We don't deserve it, because we have whatever it takes to make sure that we live a healthy life, that we live a life of plenty, to live a life that we are not lacking in the basic needs of human nutrition, like protein. So, remember, Mike, if you can recollect those days of, I think it was during the SAP period, Structural Adjustment Program, where people were now conditioning meals. You hear about 010, 101, 001, those kind of mathematical calculations during those days, that out of the 3 square meals, you now choose the one to remove. That thing happened almost 40 years ago. We are coming back to the same cycle where people are saying, okay, I'll skip my morning meal. That is 0. In the afternoon, I'll eat. That is 1. Then in the night, I won't eat. So 010 or 01. And that is, it is unfortunate. It is mind-boggling that we have not moved an inch in 50 years. That we are just running around in circles. and that we're even far better off some years back than now. Meanwhile, our population is bludgeoning. We are booming. Our intellectual human capital has been exported outside. We are having, how many Nigerians were overseas 40 years, 50 years ago? But look at the export we're having. So something is fundamentally wrong in Nigeria. We need to fix it.
All right, Ambrose, I'll come back to you there. Let's hear the perspective of Oladeinde in the studio. Now, the point there is, these realities have made Nigerians to cut down on so many things. In fact, apart from protein and food, people are cutting down on different things as well.
When I read the report, I was like, the writer has not been living in Nigeria. How do you now zero in on protein, of all things that we all have had to cut down on? If you observe, most wedding ceremonies now happen on Zoom. Yeah, because people can no longer afford the yele of old, where you gather people, actually the food and everything. The resources are no longer there. Income keep dwindling. And then whatever little you have, you will be unkind to yourself and your family to now squander them on such social activity. A friend of mine, last year, 3 of his daughters got married. Imagine if he had to rent event center, call caterers and all of that. It's an unfortunate, harsh reality, but we've been having to contend with it. Ambrose reminded me of those days of 101, 001, 011. Those were when we were in the university. And we were doing that to conserve our resources. Don't forget that our parents were not giving us money for socials and entertainment. Yet, we still manage to slot in some of those things. You want to attend a show on campus, then you have to devise that. But we're talking of a national life now, where the circumstances of mismanagement of resources put us to a point where we can no longer afford the basics of life. It's unfortunate.
So a lot of Nigerians now living like students at that time.
Exactly. So we're now living in our past. And it's unfortunate. When they say protein, vitamin, and several other things, you don't understand. Yeah. For a long time recently, I couldn't drive my cars. Why? I wasn't able to afford fuel at those prices. Forget my academics or whatever. It was not affordable. So I found myself on Okada, Kekemarua, and all sorts of things. I needed to move around. I didn't need to be convinced by anybody that, oh boy, this is the way to go. Because I wasn't able to afford Uber and all those cab systems. I wasn't able to afford them. And it wasn't peculiar. A lot of good guys looking just like you are. You see them in Danfo these days. They have to make ends meet. And when you look at all of these things, the question is, look at the advert that we just watched now. Easily, they solve that problem. I just wish we can have an easy solution to all our problems in Nigeria, from insecurity to economy and all of that. But it doesn't work like that. Yeah. The critical thing is that the right brains must be put in place. When they are put in place, they will empower the citizenry. The system will work. Mistakes will be corrected. Errors will be avoided. And we have to move forward. Nigeria has no choice. I've not forgotten that they said by 2015, we will have gone barbers. But whatever sustained well from then to now has taken further blow. Okay? Now is a turning point. As I always let you know, we must reinvent Nigeria.
Yeah. All right. Ambrose, someone said recently that, anyhow, let me come to the way Nigeria will speak it on the street. Anyhow it be, lion no go chop grass.
Never.
If you understand that's
maxim.
That's maxim. Thank you for borrowing me that.
You will pay for it.
Yeah, no, don't
worry. It's not
free. If one understands that maxim as anyhow it is, Nigerians will always find a way to survive. To survive. The point there is, hard as that could be, is this the state of Nigerians really, Ambrose?
Well, the state of Nigeria has gone to that point. Lion they chop grass, but hunger they kill lion. Let me tell the street people that. So it also goes to point that we have seen hungry lions. We have seen lions that are dejected, that are dying of hunger, emaciated, and later die of hunger. So it is also true that Nigerians must find a way to eat. But let me tell you categorically, Mike, that a lot of Nigerians are dying of hunger. It may not be reported. It may be blamed on spiritual attack. It may be blamed on disease, on sicknesses. It may be blamed on the family witchcraft or whatever. But most of them are dying of hunger and malnutrition. And that is the reality of our time. Because a child who does not have protein to grow, a child who does not have multivitamin, then let's even forget about fruit. Fruit that is the mainstay of the body system. It's not even affordable even by the rich or by the poor. The fruits are up there. They are very, very expensive. Now, how does a child survive? So the child, becomes sick. All of a sudden, they say nothing to him. He was playing yesterday. He just fell and died. We have had cases of people just falling and dying because we don't do a lot of the people that die don't do autopsies. We don't even investigate death. We just bury. Some are blamed on them. Some people go to native doctor to find out who killed the person and the rest. So that's how we live our lives, not knowing that most of these things are hunger, caused by hunger and the rest. So we are not, we will not be able to, a lot of Nigerians are already eating from the dustbin. They go around, that is the sad reality, they go around the dustbin and eat. Go to early mornings and some other late evenings, go to fast food joints or restaurants and go and see people scavenging for food in the cities, everywhere. A lot of Nigerians are homeless. Go to under the bridges. There's a place in around GRA in Enugu here where, we discovered that some children were living under a culvert, a very big culvert. They stay under there. And it was close to our church. They had to rehabilitate them. These are the realities of our time. So we shouldn't sit somewhere and say, the lion no go chop grass. Lion, at a point will die if you don't chop grass. So we have to prevent that from happening. A lot of our people have been pushed to the wall and they are doing anything to survive. And the government should, as a matter of pragmatically, look into this situation and see how at least basic food can be provided for its citizens.
Yeah, I totally understand. And I totally agree. Now the point, just on the flip side, there was a picture recently of a lion in a zoo.
It was for a purpose. It was a manipulation. I saw it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, but on social media you see a lot of things, and so on. And anyway, there was a picture of a very.
You see, the person was trying to deliver a lecture. I needed to use that illustration to prepare the minds of the audience ahead of his delivery.
Yeah.
And listen to it.
Yeah, but however, the picture of a very hungry and emaciated lion.
Yeah, they did it well. It was technology in action.
It's all right. Now, what do you think that leadership is the way forward for this? Basically, of course, one would say everything rises and falls on leadership. However, the point there is at this critical time, Nigerians have heard a lot of promises from leaders, since independence until now, and yet we're still here.
I'm going to be very uncharitable now.
But be careful.
For this purpose.
NBC is there.
For this purpose. What we are facing now, what we are, the reality confronting us, I'm not going to just drop it at the doorstep of this government.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. It's been a systematic, gradual, and progressive regression from independence to date. I don't know how we started with the right caliber of people who built up the different parts of Nigeria. Awolowo died over 20 years ago. I can't remember the precise day. Let me just be careful with that figure.
Early 80s.
Right.
Died,
but it's still very relevant. Go and pick any of his books and read. And then your conviction and conclusion is that this man came ahead of his time. I remember we had television here before Belgium, France, and all of that. That was a visionary leader. Now, mention one visionary leader that we've had in recent times. Tell me, make a quotation that, they said this thing and it has, survived.
Yeah.
time. And these are the challenge. So at the end of the day, what do we have? Failure of leadership, failure of management, failure of misuse of authority and power, whereby instead of having the common good at the heart or centerpiece of their mindset, it's been all about me, myself, and I. Each time I see figures, either economic figures or other matters in Nigeria, I don't rely on them. Why? I once got into how data is collated in Nigeria, and I saw so many loopholes. Now, you cannot begin to build on such data because from day one, they were faulty. And I blame myself. Why? I had the chance of getting into politics. But like most people of my time, they will say, oh, it's not clean, it's dirty, it's dangerous. Right. But when you, who think you know, fail to get involved, those who do not know will take charge and determine your future and that of your children and grandchildren.
So this is an opportunity for
us. It's a chance for us to change that trend. Either way we want to go, we must elect quality people, minds that will bring in change.
All right, at this time. We have to leave you here now. Thank you so much, Oladeinde Ariyo, for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate you. Thank you. Ambrose Igboke, thank you very much for your time and insight on our discussions today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike, for having me.
Great. Right.